Leviticus 21. Juneteenth reflection. When most people think about Juneteenth, they think about freedom. When most people think about Leviticus 21, they think about rules. But what if both are actually telling us something about responsibility? In Leviticus 21, God established 3 visible levels of responsibility among His people. The people of Israel followed God's covenant. The priests lived under greater expectations because they ministered before God. The high priest carried the greatest responsibility because he represented the entire nation before the Lord. This structure demonstrated an important principle. The closer the calling, the greater the responsibility. Now fast forward thousands of years. Juneteenth celebrates June 19, 1865. The day enslaved people in Texas finally learned they were free, more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation had been issued. Freedom arrived. But freedom was not the end of the story. It was the beginning of a new responsibility. Just as Israel was freed from Egypt and called to represent God among the nations, newly freed African Americans faced the challenge of building families, churches, schools, businesses, and communities despite tremendous obstacles. Freedom created opportunity. Opportunity created responsibility. Leviticus 21 reminds us that privilege and responsibility go together. The priests were given special access to God's presence, but that access came with higher expectations. Likewise, Juneteenth reminds us that freedom is not merely the absence of chains. Freedom creates the opportunity to live with purpose, dignity, and service. Here is the fascinating connection. In Leviticus 21, those closest to God's sanctuary were expected to reflect God's character. In the generations following Juneteenth, churches became places where faith, leadership, education, resilience, and hope were cultivated for entire communities. Many became living examples of perseverance, courage, and faith under pressure. Luke 12:48. Unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. The lesson is not that some people are more valuable than others. The lesson is that every blessing carries a calling. Every freedom carries a responsibility. Every influence carries accountability. Juneteenth celebrates freedom. Leviticus 21 teaches responsibility. Together, they remind us that God's desire is not simply to free people from something, but to free them for something. A life that reflects His character, serves others, and leaves a legacy for the next generation. All mages should be about the Juneteenth holiday.